In the gospel text of today, which is taken from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verses 21 to 43, the themes of faith and perseverance shine forth. Gyrus, whose daughter is at the point of death, has faith, and the woman with the flow of blood or the hemorrhage, who has suffered for 12 years, has faith. How does Gyrus show his faith? Gyrus shows his faith not by sitting at home and waiting for the Lord to come to him. He gets up and goes to search for the Lord. He seeks the Lord and he finds him. And after finding him, Gyrus makes his request to the Lord, asking that the Lord come to his home and heal his daughter. Jesus, out of compassion, starts going with Gyrus, but even as he goes, Mark interrupts the story to heighten the suspense. Will Jesus reach Gyrus's home before the daughter dies? Will he be able to heal the daughter? These are questions in our minds, even as Jesus begins the journey to Gyrus' home. A woman with a flow of blood, who has spent all she had on physicians and has been ill for 12 years, is now part of the crowd that is accompanying Jesus. This woman has faith. And the reason why we say she has faith is because despite being ill for such a long time, despite not having any kind of respite from her ailment, she still wants to go and seek and search Jesus, and she finds him. Unlike Gyrus, she does not make a verbal request. Her request is through her action. She reaches out and touches the garment of Jesus. And even though she was considered unclean by society, she will not let the thought of society, the rules of society affect her. She knows that the Lord cannot be contaminated. She knows that she is not unclean. She is merely unwell. She also knows that the Lord can make her whole, because this is what she keeps saying to herself: if only I touch his garment, I will be made whole. This is how she expresses her faith, both in her mind and through her actions. And right now, she is made whole instantly. And when Jesus realizes that someone has touched him, besides the crowd who is touching him by leaning on him, he knows that someone has touched him in a special manner. And the woman claims that she has done so. Jesus looks at her with compassion, and Jesus tells her that it is her faith which has made her whole. But now, there is another challenge. Gyrus' daughter, who was nearly at the point of death, has now died. And those who bring the message to Jesus are those who do not believe, because they keep telling Gyrus that he must not disturb Jesus any longer. Jesus does not really have power over death. He may have been able to heal the girl who was ill. He may have been able to raise sick people and paralytics and those who are blind and lame, but it is impossible for even Jesus to raise the dead. The words of Jesus to Gyrus are the words which we must all hear, namely, fear not, only believe. Even as Jesus reaches the home of Gyrus, there are flute players and there are mourners, which is a clear sign that the girl is indeed dead from the eyes of everyone around, from the eyes of the world. Jesus, however, has another perspective, and he tells those who are making this commotion that the girl is not dead, she is only sleeping. What does this mean? Does Jesus mean that the girl is only unconscious? Does Jesus mean that she is not really dead but in a deep coma? No. He means that it is his faith which prompts him to believe that because God loves him unconditionally and because he is aware of God's love, that he will be able to raise the girl. It is not foreknowledge that Jesus has because he has not yet entered the home. He has not yet checked the girl. He does not know the condition of the girl. But what Jesus knows is the condition of his relationship with the Father. And for him, it is enough. For him, it gives him confidence to say that the girl is not dead, but she is only sleeping. And with that confidence, with that faith, he goes in. He takes the girl by the hand. He raises her up through the two words, Talita Kumi, which in English means, little girl, I tell you, get up. And the girl gets up. And to confirm that the girl was indeed made alive, Jesus tells them to give the girl something to eat. Gyrus and the woman, besides having faith, had perseverance. They did not stop believing, even though all evidence seemed to the contrary. They continued to persevere in their faith. In this difficult time that all of us are living in, it is so very easy to give up, to give in, to lose faith, to say that God does not care for us. The twin miracles of the healing or the raising of Jairus' daughter and the healing of the woman with the flow of blood are inviting us to change this perspective. They're inviting us to have what I would call a persevering faith, a faith that refuses to give up, a faith which will continue to believe even if all evidence is to the contrary. Will you have such faith today?